I am going to talk about advertising on the internet and strategies to pay less and make more money. I'm just giving you an example right now, which is my website, something basic that I actually have somebody make for me. You can hire somebody to make the website and hire the same people to even buy the domain name and do the hosting for you. To save some money, it's better if you buy the domain name yourself. You can go to a domain reseller such as GoDaddy.com and actually buy a domain name and even pay the hosting. So because you actually hire somebody to do it, they're gonna charge a fee. So if, for example, you pay say $11 for the domain name, they may sell it to you for $50 and they charge you a higher fee for the hosting. So one way to save money is to actually buy those yourself. You can remove them yourself, and you're not tied to anyone that is going to control your domain name and even take it from you at some point if the domain does well. So in this case, google.com, if you just search for it, of course it's taken. There is even the service on domain sellers and resellers to even try to get it for you. Of course, it's not going to be um, easy to get something like google.com, but maybe for an older, less known website, you may even request, see if they could get it for you at some point, maybe offer, help you offer a price for a domain name such as whatever else. And like in this case, since Google is so famous, so well known and everything, something similar could sell for a lot of money. Say this one, for example, even though it's a pretty strange name, is they're asking a ton of money for it. And so domain names could be very expensive. I believe these are pesos in this for this particular. Oh, actually, this is United States. But anyway, you can buy domain names inexpensively or expensively depending on how popular and how people search for it. If it is a name that will a lot of people will search for it, then it will be more expensive to buy. But sometimes you you're lucky and get a domain name that is popular, and then easy to type, meaning it's not a strange name like this one, for example. I said I don't think many people will search for something like jedi.com, but you can come up with a pretty easy domain name to type, easy to find and popular and not too expensive. And then you can get the hosting from many of the providers. I just did a search for the top for domain name resellers or sellers or hosting, and then you can get a list such as this one with ratings as to where who gets the best scores. In this case, for example, SiteGround is getting 9.8, and they give you some features. For example, how much storage is important to know how much storage you can have, the uptime, all of those things that would help you. For example, is nowadays in some when you visit a website, sometimes people may get a message saying that it's not a secure website, it doesn't have HTTPS on it, things like that. So sometimes most of them will give you domain name forwarding, meaning that you can buy the domain name and forward it to some other address, which could be a website that does the hosting for you for free. There, I could give you some examples. For example, if we go back to mine, I just made some up with free hosting at this one. This one is one that I made myself in 15 minutes, something like that. And then they provide some templates that give you a website very easily, very quickly. Like this one, I like that it has like a contact page where they could send the name, email address, phone number, and their message, and just click send, and that's it. So it will get straight to your email address. You don't have to. All you have to do is when you come up with it, when you configure this page, you indicate your email address, and it will be sent to your email address. You will not need to publish your email address. So if anybody wants to send you an email, they will have to go through this input box. That way you can avoid getting a lot of spam, because when you don't provide an email address, you take the risk of getting spam. Like in mine, I provide my email address. In this case, I separate, I don't put the ampersand in here, so that when these robots that they use search for something.gmail.com, it will be a little harder for them to come up to my page and find my uh, email address by a robot. Of course, if it is manual, of course they can just come up with the address and build it manually. Okay, you can put. I don't really like to provide phone numbers because they're gonna get a bunch. You may get a bunch of phone calls. I just put WhatsApp in there, but maybe you have a little bit more control about it. And then I like text pages in the sense that load fast. It's important that a page load fast, because if it's low slow, they may just back out of it, and then you lose the visitor and maybe never come back to you. So you got free hosting in here, like in this one from these people. Principal website is actually, but when you get free hosting, then you may get your website in here and then their website. So actually it's not a full, people will visit the page will notice that it's not a, it's like a free hosting. It doesn't look good. Okay, I like it because of the contact page, and actually I do have my own hosting provider, so I have my own domain name. I don't have dot something else, somebody else's company website in there. But I like to have extra pages. For example, I have Wix in here, which is also a free hosting provider, but the same thing, they may advertise in your page when you use this free hosting through them, through other companies. So it doesn't look good for a company to be doing that, using free hosting, because it looks like your company is a homemade company or things like that. In regards to by myself a little bit, basically I'm from Colombia. I just put it over here on Google, to let you know that this is where I am located, but I can work remotely. You can do the same. You can work remotely. Here's United States up, the way up, and I can minimize it, so you can, oops, so I can show you where it's located. Most people misspell Colombia. They put Columbia, which is in the United States, so they may get a confused name, and they may think they misspell it basically. And then you can basically have a design made. So these are some steps to be followed. One is to get the domain name, second get the hosting, and then third get the design. For the design, you will need to either hire somebody or get the free design that the hosting provider gives you. But at first it's free, maybe a month free, and then they start charging you for it. So for example, GoDaddy will give you a site builder, and then inside builder you can build your own website, and then at some point, while you wait for somebody to make you on a professional design, well, theirs is professional, but you have to pay for keeping it, for keeping that design on GoDaddy. You have to pay every month, as if you're buying like a monthly charge. Well, if you have somebody design it for you, you pay a one-time fee, and then you don't have to pay forever again. The thing is that when you hire somebody to design it, then you have to pay a big money up front. For example, they could charge you $500, $1,000, 2,000, 3,000, depending on how complicated and how many features or what kind of features you want in your website. So if I give you an example, this is not really a website design. It's just, this is a page for real estate. But just give you an example. Any website can have any kind of features. This particular page gives you pictures. So it has like a slideshow. This is actually showing a city in Hawaii. Kailua. And this is a real estate listing of a house in Hawaii. This one is beautiful. It's for sale right now. So this is a sample of how you can have a slideshow for a real estate page. Let's say you are a realtor and you want to design for a real estate website. Then you can have slideshows, you can have videos, you can have anything. So, but it costs money to have somebody make you something professional. So that's when the investment comes. Having a nice, beautiful website design. This particular house is just like a several living rooms. It has several kitchens. This one in particular is a side house. So this one is like a 4 houses in one. This is like one of the locations. This is a patio. So different things. So this is a real estate page, and it has pictures. You can even have a drone flown over a property, things like that. You can have a video through a drone that shows you the surroundings of the property, things like that. And then in regards to advertising, you can have, for example, free advertising on Google. For example, this is about real estate in Oahu, Hawaii, which is the island that has the most population in Hawaii. It's like multiple islands, and this is the most populated and the most popular island in Hawaii. You can have a free page on Facebook. You can have free advertising on Instagram. So there are many ways to advertise for free on your website. So in my case, I have links to different websites. For example, I have this website that is Supermodel US, and you can hire somebody to make you something like this. I don't know. In this case, it's something similar to an Apple. An Apple Pay, an Apple computer. Some computers, I believe, I don't use Apple. I use Windows all the time. But this design is like that. That has like buttons underneath, and then you click on them, and then you get something pop up to the screen. Like this is for the contact page and with the email address. This one you can have designs such as this one, which is a modeling website, and you can have special effects like this one. For example, let's say I click on this one, it comes up to the person. I can just click on something else, and then you get the other one. You click on here, and then so you can have special effects come up. This one doesn't. This was I modified some of this stuff, but you can actually do editing on your own. This particular design is something that the website design made for me, and then you can have somebody to fix it if something needs to be fixed. Like say the model is no longer with you, then you can remove it, but some changes may mess up the website or make things not work the way it's supposed to anymore. Anyway, so in this case it's a slideshow, but different than the one I showed you before. And then you can have your contact page, your question page, whatever else. Like this is frequent asked questions. So the design options are endless, and I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.